Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, and I'm coming to you from the intersection of the trailhead of trivia and the summit of storytelling. I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocachers and geocaches from here and all around the globe. So while you're trying to figure out what time it is every time you cross the border, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Everywhere I go, it's now.
Oh,
there you go.
And you're always going forward.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Indeed. But it's 7 o'clock here on Thursday, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest. I'm Wits End. Welcome to episode 658 of Caching in the Northwest. That means that our next episode is Prime.
Oh. But not
this week we're... What's that?
But not sponsored by Amazon.
No.
We still have time. Amazon, if you're listening, it's okay. Go ahead.
You could do it.
Yeah.
It could happen. Anyway, this week, this non-prime week, we're diving into a part of geocaching that every cacher, new or seasoned, has interacted with, whether they realize it or not, the world of shop geocaching. So whether you're looking for trackables that travel farther than some of us do, or tools that save you from your 100th, I want this bison tube open. The store shapes the way we play. And today we're joined by someone who knows the shelf stories and surprises better than anyone. Martimus, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks.
All right. So he, a little later, is going to share what's new, what's coming, and some behind-the-scenes details that might just change the way you look at your favorite geocaching gear. But first, it's time to bring in our marmoset of merchandising. Some say he once negotiated a bulk discount using only interpretive eyebrow movements. Others say he is less popular than a leper in a game of Naked Twister. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Whoa. Okay. If there was a line, I think it might be back there somewhere. Holy cow. All right. I see how we're going to do this tonight. All right.
The funny thing about that, just now, I read it. It said leper. I said the word leper. But in my head, the visual that I painted was a lemur. And I thought, why would a lemur be playing Twister? Now, your shocked reaction made me go back and reread it. And go, oh, now I understand why he's offended. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, with that, a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. I'm just going to ignore that.
Maybe not the co-host, but the patrons we appreciate.
I appreciate the patrons. Yeah.
Leap and lemurs. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, time for you to be checking out the things at landsharkz.ca. They will stock items from Shop Geocaching. So if you're up here in Canada and you want to drop in and take a look without the 3-hour drive, well, you can do that. Or you know what? Go enjoy the adventure and go see Marty. Go get your stuff at Shop Geocaching. But either way, you can get your stuff from Landsharks, who are a sponsor of this podcast, and we love them very much. Speaking of people we love very much, well, it's Cashly, who are super duper awesome. It's not they, it's him.
One person
running the whole show there at Cashly. Good old Nick. Version 8.1. It is the premier geocaching app for iOS. So download it. If you've downloaded it, update it. Make sure you got everything rocking and rolling there, because it's got CarPlay support now. I don't think too many other geocaching apps can tout CarPlay support. I don't think in the iOS world any other can. Yeah, that's pretty premier for sure. All right, well, find Cashly in the iOS App Store or go to cashly.com. And now that you've got your geocaching gear and you've got your geocaching app, it's time to get into your geocaching mobile and head to Tourism Valemount. That's right, where every season offers its own unique adventures. Nestled in the mountains, it is surrounded by towering peaks, lush forests, pristine rivers, providing endless opportunities for year-round exploration and a buttload of snow right now. So if you are into winter stuff, go to Valemount. All right, so whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this here show, well, head on over and click on the Patreon link in the cachingandw.com website. I thought I would make it an extra dramatic pause just because I believe, based on some of the feedback we've had lately, that we need to stretch things out before we bring in our guest.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I just thought
got
you
it.
were building lung capacity to read all of the patrons.
also working on that, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. And since you're in Canada, it's a metric buttload of snow.
It is a
Just
metric
make sure you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have to credit Tourism Valemount for that intro or that spot coming in, because they're not going to like all of that. Anyway,
What?
yeah, they have a buttload of snow. That's how you're going to describe it.
Yeah.
They do. It's awesome. If you love snow, go to Valemount.
That's true. If
They've
you
got
love snow,
sledding, skiing, like everything wintry going on up there right
snowshoeing, and that's just getting to work every morning.
now. Right? That's how Marcy gets to work.
How about snow cones?
That's
go,
they
Mark.
use that instead of traffic cones.
Oh, okay. So that's for the slalom course.
Ah, you caught me. That was a good one, Chris.
Oh, good deal.
GeoGo can use autoplay for Android.
Oh,
There you go. But that's not iOS.
Bingo.
yeah.
But good point.
Hey, folks, we are already talking. And if you want to jump in this conversation, use the hashtag shop and pop that right in there. Ask your questions. We're going to force Marty to answer them, whether he wants to or not. No, we wouldn't do that to you, Marty. And of course, you can use the hashtag FATAST to talk about anything you want in the after show.
Yes, indeedy. I'm excited to hear all about that. But first, a little housekeeping. We've got some news, as we like to share with you at this time of the podcast. Hey, you listener, person, watcher, viewer, chat participant, have you ever thought about what makes GPS possible? Well, let me tell you, with the flip of the blue switch, or selective availability, GPS became dramatically more accurate. It was always pretty accurate. We just mere civilians didn't have access to the accuracy things. And a new kind of adventure known as geocaching became possible. Before selective availability was discontinued, the U.S. government made GPS less accurate for everybody except the military for national security reasons. And then, in arguably the only good and definitely my favorite thing to come out of the Clinton administration, the decision was made on May 2nd, 2000 to discontinue selective availability, ending the intentional restriction on civilian GPS accuracy and significantly improving GPS technology for public use. This date is memorialized, recognized, and celebrated by geocachers as Blue Switch Day. And it's referred to by the podcast hosts as Big Blue Switch Day.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be big.
Yeah, I got that extra several decimals in your coordinates. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
Right? So, what better way to celebrate the evolution of geocaching than to represent the butterfly effect? It states that a small, seemingly insignificant action can lead to massive, unsuspected consequences over time. I'm just trying to make Jay's face turn red to match his shirt tonight.
Oh, it's having some good laughs already.
Okay.
It's awesome.
So, to celebrate this pivotal moment, you can earn not one, but two souvenirs for Blue Switch Day 2026. If you be a hider, you can earn the souvenir for hiding. You must have a non-event geocache published between May 1st and May 31st of 2026.
There's time now.
Yes, time. You got time to go out and get some planning done. Any non-event geocache type, excluding Adventure Lab, counts as long as it's published between May 1st and 31st. And remember, review times may vary. So a geocaching community volunteer, remember, they're volunteers. They'll typically begin the review of your geocache within 7 days or so. It is recommended that you submit your cache for publication at least a week before you'd like to see it published. And you can learn more about the cache review process over on the geocaching.com help center. Now, hiding is awesome, and I think everybody should go out and hide something.
Yeah, can I throw in a comment before we move on?
Yeah.
You can put in the notes to your reviewer, hey, I want this for the big blue switch souvenir. Don't publish it until at least May 1st.
So it's based on the published date, not the hidden date?
That's how it would appear.
You have to have it published between May 1st and May 31st.
Okay. Having it on published between.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could hide it earlier.
You could.
Mhm.
But if you hide it later, unless you've got a good DeLorean,
Right.
you're kind of hooped.
And if you hide it on the 30th of May and, expect your reviewer to bend over backwards to get it out, it's, yeah.
I don't know. I think reviewers love that.
I know that they're,
Publish things on the deadline of a.
yeah, they absolutely can. And they do their best to accommodate, but, be kind to them. So anyway, everybody should hide. I think it's awesome. Go out and hide. And if you're going to hide anyway, do it in May and get a souvenir.
Oh my.
Okay. Not going to comment on that. I'm just going to say, if you're not up to hiding, you can certainly go out and find a geocache. You can earn this souvenir. Now, your time window is a little bit smaller. You must find and log one geocache, or you can attend an event. Hiding an event doesn't count for the hider, but you can attend an event for the finder. Or you can complete an Adventure Lab location. But you have to do it between May 1st and 3rd of 2026. I have a hunch that's probably a weekend. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but
Survey said
yes.
it's typically a weekend when they do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So whether you're going to get a hider, you know what? You can do both.
You can.
Yeah. You can hide a geocache and find a geocache.
And finding yours doesn't count.
Right.
I just want to be clear. But yeah,
Especially it doesn't count for the difficulty rating.
Right. So if you want to hide one that people are going to find quickly, you need to get that in, within the next month, within the month of March. So it's ready by April and you've got plenty of time before May 1st. Okay.
All right. What else?
Next. Okay. I put this in here because there are a lot of things happening in a short time frame here. So Ceto season has already kicked off, right? That happened March 1st. Inviting anybody with a trash bag and a sense of civic pride to earn a souvenir after tidying up after less considerate humans. A couple of weeks later, Pi Day arrives with 3 new souvenirs for mystery cache enthusiasts who find and log between March 13th and 15th. Okay. Then on March 17th, new treasures come down, cat figurines and geomobiles. Right? If you want the swag irresistibly cute or delightfully vehicular.
Or both.
Who knows? Okay. So we got a lot of dates coming up with chances to earn souvenirs and treasures and all these fun things. So, hey, you know what? The best thing to do is get out and go geocaching.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if you need caches to go find for your finder thing, the Land Monkey Cache Bash goes live on May 2nd.
Lower Mainland. Yes.
Yes,
So-
the Land Monkey Cache Bash on the Lower Mainland goes live on May 2nd.
Yes. We'll promise to talk about that a little bit more in the FATAS.
Okay.
I thought that meant Land Monkey can bounce. Let's drop him and find out.
And here goes the chat. Yeah.
Can bend.
Can bend. He can bend backwards.
A bit. Not as much as I used to.
Okay. All that's through. Marty, you've been very patient. Thank you. Many know you. I hope everyone knows you, but many people know you as the face of Shop Geocaching. But, before we get into that, every geocacher has that first find story. So tell us, when did you get bit by the bug of geocaching, and what was the caching scene like for you way back then, or just back then?
Sure. I don't know that many people know me, so I'm not going to say that I'm truly the face of Shop Geocaching. I think Signal might be a better face of geocaching. But, I had a friend who was part of geocaching from the very beginning who used to talk about it. and I didn't understand what he was talking about at all. I just didn't get it. So that was for, I guess, the first 12 years. And then fast forward to 2012, that friend reached out to me because I happened to be kind of in between things and they needed some help in the warehouse location for 30 days. And I was asked if I could cover. So I took a temp job here, and that's when I first kind of saw it. And my first find was actually the 2012 block party.
Okay.
Which I was working at. And then after, I don't know, 6 months or something like that, they gave me an actual job. And so my beginning there was I was working on the shop team who really did not geocache. And I thought it was an important part of what we were going to do if we needed to understand geocaching better to do the jobs we wanted to do, to get product ideas, to see how the community was geocaching. So we started going out as a group at that time. And that's kind of how I got into it. My first time going out, Miss Jen, who's a geocaching legend, I went to her, she was a lackey at the time, and said, hey, I need somebody to take me around. So that was kind of my first outing, but then was able to learn enough to get the team going. And I'm trying to think in 2012 if it was the old app or the new one. It was we were using an app,
I think
but I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that the new one was running at the same time as the old one for a little while, but I don't remember when that exactly happened.
There you go.
But
Brian
it
says
was
2012 was the $10 paid app. There you go.
yeah, so that's probably what it was on.
Okay.
But as a new person in Seattle, there was plenty of geocaches to find. So that's kind of how it started. And since then, we still go out. We I believe the shop team will be out next Friday.
Nice.
So
Oh, nice.
We still do that. We still go out and find caches and see what's out there and try to get some ideas from it, that sort of thing.
Well,
That's
way
fun.
to start out with a bang with block party as your first find. That's pretty cool. It is one of the,
here.
yeah, I know. It is one of the perks of living in the greater Seattle area there and working down close to headquarters. I'll just find a block party for my first cache and then go ask a lackey to take me out caching. It's like every geocacher does that. It's no big deal. So time has passed since then, and it's safe to say you've done a little geocaching since then, and continue to, as you say, you're going Friday. When you're not sitting there in this wonderful shop of yours, surrounded by all kinds of trackables, containers, doodads, and gadgets, what kind of caches do you personally hunt for? Do you have a specific type that's your favorite? Are you all about the numbers? Do you like long hikes and getting away from downtown Seattle for a change? Do you like to get up to the high peaks and high terrain adventures we've got here? What's your favorite?
I'm not a numbers guy, and I've got the numbers to prove that. So,
Same here.
For me, I definitely like when geocaching shows me something I wouldn't have seen otherwise. That's my big thing. Whether that be a cool gadget, a cool container, or a cool location, that's what I like the most about geocaching. When I travel, I really like to do geocaching. Just to see things that the locals are saying, hey, this is something you may want to see. And, some of those are a random guardrail along a highway, but, a lot of them are, you do a little research, you can find the ones that are the hidden gems out there. So that's my type of geocache. I would much rather than, grabbing a bunch of numbers, do that hike to a beautiful place. But just in general and around, where I live here, just finding those parts, those little pockets that you wouldn't necessarily have come across in a little park or some tall trees within the city, that sort of thing. So that's the way I like to geocache. And I'm really into souvenirs, so that's my thing. I don't think I will get 3 Pi Day. Yeah, there's a lot this month.
There's a lot this month.
Definitely go after the Equinox, but Pi Day to get 3 is a bit, or not Pi Day. Yeah, Pi Day to get 3 mysteries.
Pi weekend.
Pi weekend. There's no way I'm getting to 14 mystery caches. That's just not going to happen. But I might go for 2 souvenirs that weekend. We'll see.
There you go.
I think I forgot to mention the Equinox.
Yeah, Equinox is the 3rd week of weekend.
Yeah,
March,
and I think it's
Equinox
just
is
one.
here.
I think it's just one find.
March 19th through 22nd. Any geocache event or adventure lab location.
Yeah, and a lot of these things also have a geocoin at Shop Geocaching for those
What?
interested that go with them. So you can have some fun, extra fun with these things
Nice.
if you want.
All right. Well, Heather pokes in and says, "What area is Martimus from?" And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but you are in downtown Seattle, yes?
Yes, the Shop Geocaching location is in downtown Seattle,
Okay.
a few miles, and I live in Seattle, so that's the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, the question on everybody's mind, especially those that aren't from the Northwest and only really see Seattle when they have Sunday night football games, and they always show them throwing a fish at the end of the commercial break and the shot of Cary Park. Do you dream of throwing a fish at Pike Place Market?
You know, I like salmon, I really do, but actually holding it, throwing it, catching it, no, I don't dream of that. I really don't.
I prefer to hold it on my fork as well.
Yeah, I like them cooked.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. You don't like sushi?
Yeah, sushi's not bad though.
actually, yes, I like them prepared to eat. I guess I'll go
Yes,
that way.
There you go. There you go.
I know it's a very Seattle thing, but no, I don't really have a desire to throw one of those things or catch one.
All right. Hey, Marty. So we've mentioned that you're working at Shop Geocaching. It kind of puts you in the heart of what we in the Northwest here think of geocaching Mecca, the Seattle area. Do you have a favorite local hidden gem cache in the greater Seattle area that you'd recommend to our listeners? Maybe one that hasn't accumulated a whole lot of favorite points yet, so it might not be up on everybody's radar, but you found and went, you know what? This one's a good one.
I'm going to start with a general one. That's probably not a great answer to this, but
Okay.
the Northwest Trolls. So for people who come here who don't do that, that's not directly geocaching, but there's geocachers at all of them. I love the Trolls. I still have one more to find because some of them are pretty remote.
Yeah.
Well, this one's out on an island, but that's one of my favorite things. So I'll throw out two others that I just want to throw out there. If you go to the Museum of Flight here, I love the geocache that's there. It's really well done. It was really cool. So that one, I'm sure it has a lot of favorite points, but still it's a little bit just because it's inside the Museum of Flight. And then I'll throw up for, I don't know, it's called Unique Rock Formation in Lake Ridge Park, was one that it's an earth cache, but it's a earth cache you can do. I
like you even more now, Marty.
It's a bit of a shout out to a local high school kid who's been doing some great hides, a lot of events and that sort of thing. But it's also in a really cool, it's the sort of thing I love about geocaching, because when you get there, you have to go down this trail and you're into the old growth trees of Seattle. This is a very small park in the city of Seattle, maybe 10 minutes from where I live, and I would have never, ever seen this place. It is in this weird little spot on a street you would not have gone down.
Cool.
You just hike slightly back, and it's this beautiful little escape from the city, right in the city, and beautiful nature. And those are the ones that I really enjoy. And I found this on geocaching or Earth Cache Day a few years ago, and then happened to meet the kid like the next day. Cool. Randomly, and found out that it was his. He was like, "Oh, you logged my cache yesterday," and it was well done. But it's the sort of thing I really like about geocaching. So,
Nice.
So that's one I like.
That reminded me, when I first was caching, there was a series of caches around Tacoma, and maybe it was more widespread, but that was where I was caching, and they kept talking about Yapidka caches. It was an acronym for yet another park I didn't know about.
Oh yeah,
and yeah.
There was a question. Yeah, this one was Sahan.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it encourages me to see the younger generation jumping into geocaching.
Yeah.
Right. We're seeing a lot of gray hairs developing in the geocaching community, and to get a little young blood, to get the younger people in there, it's exciting. It changes the game.
The gray hairs come from the field puzzles.
That's right. And the earth caches.
And the earth caches.
So, Marty,
Mm-hmm.
when I think of Shop Geocaching, I think of shelves full of film canisters, because they're so hard to find now. You may as well collect them and sell them. But
we do sell them.
you do sell them?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea. I would not have thought that. That's interesting.
Yeah, we bring them in to sell them because you can't find them now.
Yeah, that's right.
We sell a lot of them.
But
Sorry, I
geocaching,
interrupted.
no, you're just fine. That's funny. Geocaching or shop geocaching is more than just a warehouse in Seattle. It's a global operation. So tell us what a day looks like, a typical day at shop geocaching.
Sure. So yeah, we sell retail in the US and Canada, mostly with a focus on the US. If you're in Canada, you're probably better off from buying from someone like, say, Landsharks, that you can buy from directly. They can special order from us. Canada Post and US Postal Service are not at their best these days.
They don't work
Buy
and
from
flow
somebody
well
in Canada.
together.
No, it's crazy. So yeah, so that's our retail business, and then for the rest of the world, we do wholesale business. So we have distributors set up throughout the world who buy the stuff from us. We ship it to them, and then they sell it to their individual markets. But here at the Shop Geocaching location, there's 4 of us that are here. So there's 3 other guys, Mark, Gary, and Dylan, who are here full time. I kind of go back and forth between here and HQ some. But Shop Geocaching really does work as kind of this own little entity. So what typical day for me, we put out about 100 to 130 new individual items each year. So we're putting out new stuff, having other stuff kind of rotate out. We have some permanent parts of the collection, but a lot of it kind of rotates through. So, we do all the updates to the website, setting up the items. We create the marketing plans. We decide which products we're going to carry. We go through the vendors. All that kind of is independent and was run out of here with this group of 4 of us. And so all the shipping, receiving, all the way down to the cleaning, like the ordering of the snacks, like all of that is done in this little entity. And everybody else in the company is over in the other building doing the other things. So it is, there's a lot of hats that everyone wears because of that, and but it does kind of operate almost as its own little entity within, like a little company within the company.
Cool.
So a typical day for me is a lot of it is going to be trying to make the website look better, switch out the homepage, or find my mistakes and fix those, or create these new items, get them on the site, and then maybe create the mailer that's going to go out. We usually do a shop mailer every Thursday. The guys here also do the photography for the items. They'll do ones for the product shot, then they'll go outside somewhere and get a nature shot, and then we've got the one guy edits them, and so all that's done here. Is we get some help from the community engagement team on some of the social posts, but a lot of the content is still created by the team here. So yeah, it's always every day is different, and it's a team that's here in person, because if you order by noon Monday through Friday, your stuff's going to ship that day. So the orders are all printed each morning and processed, and the guys get them boxed up and out, and then just afternoon the second printing is done, and everything that's been ordered in between gets shipped out that day, and then the rest waits till the next morning. But yeah, so it's order by noon Pacific time, and your stuff will ship that day. Now, how long it'll take to deliver to you really depends on some other people, but
Yeah.
we do our best to at least get it out the door.
I had
Very good.
no idea that you did marketing as well as all of the other, logistics just to get the stuff. That's really impressive that you're doing that out of a 4-man shop.
Yeah, and sometimes we've had off and on through the years of the company, we've had a little marketing support. It just on these, it was like, well, we're doing this stuff already. It just kind of makes sense for us to do. The guys here are doing the photography, that sort of thing. We can kind of put it up and put it into a mailer and get it out, and it's kind of fun. That's been something relatively new that I've been doing, like the mailers, and
Nice.
it's been kind of a fun thing to get to do. So.
That's very cool. So I would imagine that ordinarily the majority of the orders and interactions you get with customers are pretty predictable and routine. Click add to cart, get it out, put it in the box, ship it. But we all love the stories, right? The little notes that somebody puts in an order, or they send a customer service email request or follow-up or something. What is the most unique, surprising, or otherwise creative note that you've received from a cacher looking for gear?
Sure. Yeah, we get some. I don't know if it's been that common lately, but we'll get people who ask for like something to be drawn on the packing slip or something to be drawn on the packaging. And, we've had like a signal on a unicorn or like one was like a Darth Vader stick figure they wanted. And so we have people here that'll do their best to do that. We had one person who said that the trackable tags they were ordering, that those animals don't get along well. So could they be packaged to separate them in the packaging? And Mark that works here is a very creative person, like set up their box like in this way that everything was like separated out. So
That's great.
There's some fun stuff like that people do, and everybody here tries the best to accommodate that. But there's one that was kind of this on my mind that was a weird one. I don't know, it was probably a couple of years ago, but it was a customer that I was dealing. I don't remember what, but we were going back and forth, and she placed her order, and we shipped the stuff out. And it was for a bunch of stuff. And she was super nice, and we had this very positive conversation. And then we get this order review for one of the items, just blasting us, saying that we're a group of scammers, and it was supposed to be a geocoin, but didn't have a tracking code, and just really harsh review. And I thought that was really odd because I'm like, this woman seemed really nice. Like, this doesn't seem right. So I actually, was in an email chain and reached out and said, hey, we got the product review. Sometimes they're hard to see. This is a geocoin that has the tracking code on the side. Are you sure it's not there? Those are easy to miss. And I honestly was just like, are you doing okay? Because it was such an unhinged, like, I was like,
Yeah.
Does this person need somebody to step in and help? Like,
Right.
This was crazy. And I get this response back, and it's like, my teenage son got confused, got onto my computer, did a product review. We have discussed what is appropriate for these things, and we are fine. That has the tracking code and everything's good. So that was one of my favorite ones.
Wow.
Of being like, what happened here? And it's like, oh, the teenage kid got just blasted us. So, and they're like, take the review down. Everything's good. So yeah, we get some like that are kind of odd, but the fun ones are, they're little requests for doing a little something extra.
Chris and I used to work together, and I don't remember what vendor it was. We used to order gear, and in the bottom of the box there'd be a little plastic dinosaur. And you look at the bill lading or the packing slip, and it would be listed as toy dinosaur, item name or item number roar.
Nice.
But that was fun.
I was like, what is this? Rar. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome though, Marty. Like what the team there does to just make the orders a little bit extra fun for people.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I see it was just posted a blog post from 10 years ago. It's funny. This is a team with very little turnover. The turnover we've had is one of our people was moved from the shop team to the community engagement team. But other than that, our new guy is Dylan, and I can't remember if he's going into year 11 or 12.
The new guy.
Yeah. And so
Wow.
it is a team that does not, it's the same crew. And there's something to that. Like, we don't worry about how things are going to work. Everybody knows how everyone works. Everyone knows how to get stuff. It's an extremely efficient group, and everybody knows what to do. And we, with customer service and that sort of thing that we also do internally, we all know what to say and that sort of thing. So, in a industry, a lot of tech workers and such in the company where you can have a fair amount of turnover, this is just not a team that has that. We are the same old, we're growing old together. So
That does say a lot. Yeah, that's amazing.
Does that mean Dylan still has to go out and get donuts and coffee because he's the new guy?
Yeah, he's still got to do the new guy stuff.
Okay.
And
Brutal.
the rest of us are all a fair amount older than him, so we'll age out eventually, and then maybe he'll get to have some of those.
He'll be the top of the totem pole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Marty, earlier you mentioned something, and it was it might have slipped by people because you just talked about how sometimes you'll split your time between Shop Geocaching and Geocaching HQ. So is Shop Geocaching not physically at HQ? Like, can people come visit?
It's not. It's a warehouse that's about 3 miles away or 3 kilometers. I don't know. And Canada. What
It's
that
like 8 million
Three
kilometers.
units of distance. Gotcha.
Yes, it's a few, it's across the canal. So yeah, this facility is not at HQ. It's a ways away. We're not really set up. We're set up to just shipping and receiving sort of thing. If people want to visit and look at products, the visitor center at HQ actually has a lot of great products. It has a number of things that are exclusive to HQ, and then a number of our items, because they get, a lot of the people that go to the visitor center are like very engaged geocachers, and but there's also school groups that come in, scout groups, that sort of thing. And so Jason, that runs the VC, has a lot of like the devious caches and stuff on display there. People can buy them, but they're also just for people to kind of see the variety of different caches that are out there, and selection of supplies and stuff. So if you do want to come to Seattle and go shopping, you go to the visitor center. If you come here, you would have to still place an order online, and then we might be able to hand it to you, but that's as good as it would get.
Only if it's before noon will they hand it to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise you got to wait.
Otherwise you got to get a hotel, come back the next day.
Yeah.
So we've seen some of the incredible and creative containers that you have on the site, the physical containers, like little dumpsters to those evil metallic or magnetic bolts. Where do you get the inspiration for new products? Is there a design lab that works through a bunch of these? Or, how much do the other departments actually kick in and influence what turns out in the store?
Well, as far as other departments go, we use Slack here for people familiar with that. Anyone can go into a Slack channel and give the shop ideas. That's about as much as it is. There's not a design lab over at HQ thinking of merchandise. They're working on the other stuff. The bulk of what we get from geocachers. We get from people in the community who are making stuff, or, a lot of the things we picked up. I happened to get to go to the UK Mega in 2022, 23, somewhere around in there. And there's a shop there who was doing a lot of stuff in devious caches and doing a great job with it, testing it. See, when we get the stuff from geocachers, we know that they know what we need. Yeah. He's putting it out in the England weather, which is not too different than at least parts of the US weather. And so that's where we get the stuff. We have all kinds of different vendors who are generally going to be geocachers who make that stuff. We find them sometimes and say, hey, you make something cool. We don't have 3D printers here. We're just looking out there and being like, this looks like a really cool container. Would you want to set up and sell some of these to us? And so that's how we get a lot of what we do. And we are still shipping a fair amount of the stuff from the UK that we liked what he was doing. And for us, it was like, well, you're doing it right. Go ahead. We'll go ahead and buy it from you. We also have, different ones in the US and that sort of thing. But a lot of it's coming, and that's on Trackables too. We can source stuff directly, but we also, we don't have a big enough creative team to get all the designs done. So, we're getting stuff from the ones Land Sharks is an important source of goods for us. Cash Advance, Oak Coins, a lot of these different shops that we're bringing in some stuff from a geocaching shop in Germany. We trust what's out there, and even with like our cache labels. We the ones that we sell to go on an actual geocache, they need for us to be all weather cache labels that can handle the elements and be, handle weather, that sort of thing. And we had somebody a few years ago reached out to us who was a geocacher who happened to sell outdoor stickers and was like, hey, this is my industry. Here's what I do. Can I make a pitch? And that's who we buy them from now, because we know when we're looking for something, we have this geocacher who knows really what we actually need. And so that's, something that we take, as a very important thing, is that this stuff is for geocaching. It's not, you can randomly repurpose items, but we're really big at Shop Geocaching. We want to be best practices. We want to put stuff out there that's going to last. We want it to be, even if it's just a lock and lock, we expect ours to do well in the elements, and not all of them do. And so all those things we're getting from people who we trust to be good sources for those sort of items. So as far as the source of our ideas and such, a lot of it just comes from geocachers, whether they work here or they
Sure.
don't. That's where a lot of the items come from.
Yeah. Do you ever see stuff in the wild and think that's something we need to mass produce?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely see some things and say, hey, we got to figure out how we can get these
Yeah.
into our lineup. And sometimes we can't. Like we'll see things, be like, this is the coolest thing. I wish we could do this. But
Yeah.
but other times, yeah, we try to work with people. Some stuff's not made to be mass produced, but like Maker Magic is coming up. There's things like that where people can make the coolest things, and that's great. We can maybe have some supplies for them, that sort of thing. We're not trying to take away from that. We're just trying to have like, okay, you can be like me. You don't know how to make things, but you'd still like to place something. Hey, is there something that's ready to place that's still cool and will last?
Mhm.
We want to be a source for things like that, for anyone, having that make cache hiding a little more accessible, but have it a little more fun and a little more cool. So that's why we're trying to introduce stuff all the time. The dumpster cache went on the site yesterday, maybe, and then it's like a little miniature lamppost. We think some people are going to have some fun with that.
Nice.
Lamppost hide.
Yeah. So
That's
there's things like that. We introduced, it's a little 3D printed microwave, so people can hide a micro in the woods. Things like that. These are things that we're seeing that
That's
are out
cool.
there that people are doing, and then we have sources that are geocachers who will make them for us. So it's fun. It's a really fun thing. 3D printing has just opened up so many things.
Mhm.
Sure.
Especially when it's done well, as far as the quality of the product itself.
Yeah.
And
They're getting better all the time.
Yeah, and we're working with people that take that part seriously, and hopefully it's hiding really well. And we'll stand behind it if it's not, but hopefully it's out there holding up. But there's just so many things you can do, because before you had to mass produce something, you might have to make 10,000 of something, and
Right.
do you really want 10,000 little bullfrogs? No, we wanted
Right.
but we could get 10 of them if we wanted to.
Yeah. And you had to pay a big fee for that first master to be made too,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge investment up front.
Right.
So I think that has just opened up ways that people can get creative and have some fun with this stuff that is really cool. And we're having a lot of fun with it. And, I'm big on, I do like, somebody, if I can find a fake bolt over maybe just we sell tons of nano caches, but I'd rather find that bolt than the little simple nano,
Well,
And,
at the risk of derailing it again, I saw this and said, great adventures, placed an order today and can't wait. And I'd just like to throw it out there. If you can, if they didn't place it before noon and it's already shipped, find that order and write in there, hey, the Caching NW hosts say hello and thanks for ordering. And then great adventures. If you get an invoice with that written on there, call into 253-693-TFTC and tell us about your adventure. This is a kind of interactive experience we're trying to achieve.
Wow. Okay.
I'll see what I can do, but
It's a tall request, I admit it, but hey, shoot for the moon and you might get over the barn.
It may not say great adventures on the order itself, so I'm not
Right.
sure. That might be a challenge to track down.
There you go.
Well, since we're already a little derailed, Seabeck Tribe said I had to swing by the warehouse to grab a big gadget cache that they had for Going Ape event a few years ago. The guys were so great to help me out loading and getting a knot out of the rope. So
That's helpful.
That's great. The guys here, they're very good people. So I'm glad you had that experience. They really are. We do have people that pop in sometimes. We happen to be from all over the world into the shop location, because there is a geocache outside the shop too. And we just happen to be not that far from one of the cruise ship docks. So we have people that have come in to take a cruise to Alaska, who this is one of the closest caches. And we'll get people from all over the world that'll then like pop in and be like, hey, you are this you're part of this company, and we get to chat with people.
That's
So
great.
even though we can't sell them something right there, it's always fun to get to meet people and interact with them.
That's super cool. That's super cool. So key points to remember that if you plan ahead, you can perhaps meet up with the guys at Shop Geocaching, but it is not a retail outlet. So if you want to buy stuff, you got to go another 3 miles or kilometers, cross a bridge, and go to HQ and buy stuff there at the visitor center. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Great
Oh.
is the last name that shipped to Missouri, placed about 3 hours ago.
House that hasn't shipped.
There you go.
Like I said, I
Alright.
know it's a tall request. I mean, no disrespect. You don't make it, it's fine. But I
The
just had that
challenge
wild
is out
idea. I thought I'd throw out the wild idea. Who knows?
We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
That's awesome, Marty. That's fantastic. Hey, so talking about stuff that you guys are, so you talked about all kinds of different ideas and cool stuff that you've been bringing in. What would be the must-have items that you've seen come out this year for 2026? Like maybe like if you have like categories like the must-have trackable, the must-have taught for people to make sure that their caching supplies are ready, and the must-have hide, the must-have cache container for this year. What's trending, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Those are good questions. As far as the trackables go, I mean, it's kind of a steady flow for us. So, we have, we have an Equinox coin and a tag. We had a Pi Day coin. Those did sell out. Right now we have some Easter themed bags. So it just really depends. The one that I'm excited about that's coming out is, so Blue Switch has the butterfly effect theme. So we have a butterfly geocoin that's coming in that I'm pretty excited about. There's one thing we're going to be doing relatively soon that I think is really fun. And I think it could be something that's going to probably, if word gets out, go pretty fast, is that we found some old stuff, like literally like we found it in storage sort of thing. And we wanted to make some sort of time capsule. So one of the things we're doing for anyone that went to the 2022 event that HQ had at Seattle Center, the logbook was these great big inflatable things. One said 20, one said 22.
Right.
And so it was this giant, like inflatable, whatever. And so we've sent those to a group in Colorado who is taking that material and they recycle it and put it into products. So we are having, for our use, some little zipper bags made out of that and some like vinyl banners we had and sort of things from the event. I think that's going to be really fun to do. What we're going to do is take some of these pouches and we're going to call them time capsules and put some old stuff in them. So what we'll probably do is, this is the plan right now. Now, this is probably going to be released in probably April-ish. It depends on when the items get made. But we found a box of 2007 Lackey coins. And so what we're probably going to do is put a limit of 2 per order. If you order 2, you've got a good chance of getting one of those. Nothing's guaranteed,
Right.
but you would have a better chance than if you ordered 1, because the other ones would have something else in them and some other old stuff in them. So that's going to be one that if word gets out that you've got a pretty good shot at a 2007 Lackey
Word
coin.
just got out, Marty.
We might be making news tonight.
Luckily, nobody listens to this, so we might be okay.
They'll download it on Saturday when the podcast comes out.
That's right.
So that's something that we are looking at doing as soon as we can kind of put them together. And once those get announced, we think those are going to be pretty cool. Another thing to look for later in the year, we don't know the details yet. There's a thing called Lodestone that has been trademarked by this company. It's NFC technology, same technology as like if you tap your credit card, that's how it works. Well, they've developed some stuff that can be used for geocaching and played around with it a little bit. We had some people were able to buy these little things on Shop Geocaching. There was only a very limited supply just to kind of try it out.
And they sold out quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually not here when it happened, but I think it sold out really quickly. So the next step of that, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it hopefully will be happening later this year where they take that technology and can bring it somehow into the game. So there may be something like that. If there's that's a physical piece. So if that's the case, it very well would be introduced at Shop Geocaching. So we'll see what happens there. I'm excited about that.
There you go.
You actually
got a Lodestone tag.
You actually got one, and you can.
Nice.
I don't know where to put it.
the people working on that for HQ are very impressive people, and I'm excited to see where that goes. I think it could be a fun addition to the game, depending on what they get put together. So that could be like this summer. Lackey coins are going to be a big one. They always are.
Yes.
We're hoping for. I'm guessing it's going to be a May introduction. Maybe April. They're moving along. Those are complex items, and they take a really long time to produce. There's a lot of back and forth before those go into the works. So
And they're always so
that's an
creative.
older one.
I was trying to see if there's a year. There has to
That's
be
like
somewhere, right?
That's
If
like
you
a-
can't read one, write a scathing review.
Yeah, that's right. This is so small. I can't read the numbers.
or get your teenager to write it for you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be another one that I'm excited about. And then it's the 25th year of Travel Bugs. It's the 25th year of GeoCoins.
Wow.
So both those happened in 2001. We're trying to figure out
Mhm.
what we're going to do with that. And we haven't decided yet, but we're going to get something in the works relatively soon where we'll be able to have something to kind of celebrate those two anniversaries this year. So I still have to talk to Mountain Bike and see any of his thoughts since he placed the first geocoin. And so we're going to play around with that.
Input, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to play around with those two things. I'm pretty excited about that. That'll probably be in the fall that we're doing that.
Very
Did that
cool.
answer the? I don't remember.
Well,
what
and
the
I think,
question
and
was.
I
Does that
think
answer
you know,
the
from
question?
the
So much
tot,
more.
from
Yeah.
the TOTS perspective of like, what's the hot tot?
Mhm.
I think what you gave us a little teaser of like,
Yeah.
get the bags that are made out of the vinyl from the signs at the anniversary event. That is so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about those things, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll have some that we can. I don't know yet how much the material is going to produce. So, how many will just be the bags, and how many we'll be able to have. I think we're going to have enough to also do some cinch bags that are made out of that material, and I just think it's a really fun use of that, because what else were we gonna? It was a ton of like
Considering
vinyl,
everybody
plastic.
defaced them, yeah. What else are you
Yeah,
gonna
it was sent to the warehouse, and we just had this pile
do? Oh, you poor
deflated
guys.
like thing, and it's
What
like,
am I supposed to do with
what are
this?
we gonna do with this? Like nobody wanted it thrown away, but it's like, hey, we got a chance to make it into something, and I think that's gonna be really fun. So
And so it's
Really
going to have the graphics and the signatures like on the outside of the bags.
yeah, I mean, somebody potentially could
Yeah.
buy a bag and have their signature on there. I mean, that would be
Odds
really
are pretty
random.
slim, but
What?
yeah.
Yeah, there's a very slim chance, but
That
I
would be
mean,
hilarious if they
you
did.
can get it. Yeah, signed. That is
So-
so cool.
So Chris, now Marty's going to get emails or notes on the order saying,
Yeah.
"I'd like a bag, but I want the one with my signature on."
Yeah.
it."
I want the one that says the CNW. Can you find that one? I was there. I signed it. I can tell you where I signed it. Does that help? It was on the lower left-hand side.
I signed it
Oh,
on the
the-
outside.
Oh,
The
on the,
lodestone was found.
I signed
There you
mine on
go.
the inside.
Hmm.
Good job, cashing can.
Well, not everything's gonna have signatures because those things were kind of tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was signed very heavily on the bottom.
Oh, very heavily, although I saw people standing on other people's shoulders.
Yeah, or pulling it down, and
Mhm.
yeah, there was some that got to the top.
Hilarious. I don't even know where we are in the document
We're-
anymore, but
We're limited editions and rarities.
I think he talked about limited
think we
drops.
did.
Those
I think we
bags are
did.
going to be very limited,
Yeah.
We
along with the
yeah.
2007. Okay, you have
We
to
got
remind
the
me,
inside scoop here, folks. You heard
what
it first
shape?
here.
was the 2007 Lackey coin.
It was round. There was not very many lackeys.
He's on the hunt.
It
So
wasn't like the giant
like
round.
this one,
Less people than that.
less people. Okay, because this one I have signed by Jeremy and Brian.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
But that's the oldest one I think I have. Okay.
Yeah, the only round one we've done since I started here was the one I use it as a coaster.
It's a coaster.
like-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
big
like
one,
that big. All the other ones they have been somehow just the company got
Folded
bigger.
multiple-
They had to get creative to get the
Yeah.
lackeys on there.
Multiple pages somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to have to keep my eye on the store and see when those drop.
Yeah, and we typically have a new item, not every week, but most
Mhm.
weeks we have something new coming out. So some of them are more exciting than others for sure. But we do try to have a pretty steady flow of new stuff just to keep it fresh for kind of our regulars and that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
So if you guys are watching, you haven't been to the shop geocaching page right there. You've got the little dumpster and the little light post. Look at that light
I
post.
love
Isn't
the
that
light
adorable?
post. That is cool.
Yeah.
I haven't
That's
seen
really
those
fun.
yet.
And there's your swag bag along with some
Easter
Uh,
trackables.
Easter trackables. Yeah.
Very nice.
They're adorable. There's your that coin for the time of the equinox. That's it.
Yeah.
Can't come up with the words.
That coin for that time, the thing when the thing happens.
There's your Pi Day coin. They're very different looking this year. I
I
like it.
like
Yeah.
the magnetic on the Pi Day coin this year. That's
That's
cool.
very cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a fun design. That really was.
And the pie the pie sign that's like a Sesame Street character with the eyeballs.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just a whole bunch of things. Somebody earlier commented that they got the Year of the Horse geocoin, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
It is beautiful. Even just looking at the photo of it, right? The
Yeah.
detail and the coloration. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
both of those were really well done. And I'll give credit to who designed them. Landsharks designed one of those, and then Coins Geoswag did the other one for us.
Nice.
We kind of gave them a little direction of, it's the Year of the Horse. Give us something that,
Mhm.
I mean, my direction is kind of like make it cool. And this is what they came up with. I am not an idea person.
Nailed
If
it.
it works, then you're giving good directions.
There you go. There's 16 of these left on stock. They're $15.
Yeah, that one is
If you order
has sold really
tonight,
fast.
they'll be mailed tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then there will be none left in stock.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Actually, that raises a question. So, I mean, people can place orders like 24/7. Does the site sort of automatically manage the stock, or do you have to check on things, Marty? How does that work?
No, it won't oversell. So we have it set.
Okay.
So if it gets
Okay.
to zero, the one thing that can be a little deceiving, and we haven't been able to fix this, but if it says 16, if say 10 people have already bought them, it'll still be 16 until those 10 ship. So
Sure.
it wouldn't let us oversell, but that number, I just actually found this out recently on some things that were moving really fast. That number doesn't go down until the items ship. It doesn't go down when somebody orders it. So that can be a little deceiving on how many is left.
So if it's moving like super fast, like the Lodestones did, then maybe there'll be a handful of disappointed people, but it keeps up pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah. It won't let us sell more than we have. It just will still show that it will act like there's some in stock.
Right.
So there's a way to fix that, but it's in the coding, and that's a bit much for me. And
Yeah.
I'm a merchandise guy. I'm not.
You've got so much going on.
Coding.
It's okay that you can't handle everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to pass that along to others.
Let them know I said so.
Yeah.
Tell Brian.
Marty can't
Yeah,
handle
Chris said.
everything. Don't
Yeah.
drop large vinyl products in his warehouse just because there's extra space.
Hey, if we can make it into something, we will.
I love that idea. I got to get one of those. Okay,
That is super cool. Yeah.
Marty, thank you
Yeah.
so much. The time has flown
sure.
by. We're already at an hour. We appreciate you. We appreciate all you do for the geocaching community and you as an individual geocacher and person. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it. I enjoy these conversations. It's great. I can
We've had a
always
lot
talk
of fun
shop.
chatting with you.
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry, I cut you off, Marty. What were you saying?
Oh, I just said I'm always happy to talk shop.
Nicely played.
Nice.
Well done. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We hoped you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest as much as I did. And now I've got to go buy things.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh. Ooh, I love that little dumpster. I mean, that's fun. The bison tube in the dumpster. Okay.
It needs to be like near a fire pit somehow. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's all kinds of creative ideas that can
I
happen
know.
with that. I'm sure we'll find some in the wild too, which I look forward to. Well, folks, it has been a fantastic chat with Marty. Stay tuned for FITAS. The after show is coming. But in the meantime, we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks, Cashley, and Tourism Valemount, our corporate Denali level sponsors. LANDSHARKZ.ca is the Outdoor Adventure Geocaching store. Check them out online. They're shipping those online orders of anything that you can find on Shop Geocaching. They'll ship that through Landsharks as well. For us Canadians. Cachly, hey, it is the geocaching app for iOS. It is the geocaching app for iOS. And whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you, Jim, specifically. And we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, of course, our corporate supporters, but also Cool Cow Cachers, Hawaiian Miley. We saw you sneak in late. And Alondro. Now, folks, if you want, hold on. Am I missing somebody, Chris? I feel like there's 4.
Retired
Yes.
guy?
Retired guy?
Is that right?
Yeah. This must have been an old yes, and retired guy.
So retired guys, my
the old show
apologies.
notes.
These were old show notes because we had to reschedule Marty. So we didn't update that section. But
Sorry, I usually go through and try to catch that.
no worries. It's all good.
We
Well,
did
I say no worries. I guess we'll have to wait to see what retired guy says. But
It's a team effort. We remembered him as a collective.
there you go. Yeah, something didn't smell right there. All
Yeah.
right. Hey, folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show and maybe get your name mentioned and maybe not, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
One breath? No?
What do you guys want me to try? See how far I can get? Yeah.
It's
Yes,
up to you.
no.
Do you have emergency services on speed dial when you pass out?
We will find out shortly. Do you want me? I can give it a try. I can see how far I
Give it
can
a
go.
try.
Go
It'll
for it.
be-
CRS 98, Camp Clan, JR and Juju, Keats 94, Antaeus, B, Pendragon, Fear the Tuber, Starcacher, Caching Cants, Boomer 365, UDEC, Dora, More, Limax, Kid, Vegas 19, Terrible Tease, Lost Ken, Geobirder, Seabeck, Tribe, Korsgat, Mountain Bike, Gundark 2000, Finding Our Way, Just Carlo, Peach of Washington, GSM ×2, Railroad, Subway, Mark, Greenwoods, Trexer, M Nerve, Woodby Island, Gal, JT Coffee, Skyhawker, Gas Station, Tuna, JCar, NW Cats, LG 9000, Alan, Geocaches, Genies, Utox, Rocks, Quest, Karen, Flag, Mad, Wet Coaster, and Log Work.
Wow. And there's the red face I was trying to achieve.
At about 2/3, I could see you were running out of air, but you still did it.
My hat's off to you, sir. You got much farther than I expected you to. Well done.
And just for the record, I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
Hopefully he isn't alone. Breathe, Jay, breathe.
All right. Well, this show will go down as a very memorable episode for multiple reasons, that
Multiple
being one of them. Marty, thank you again so much. If people wanted to get out and send you a personal note of congratulations and thanks for all of your hard work, what's the best way to reach you?
Email for the shop is just shop@geocaching. Super easy. My email is marty@geocaching. You can always reach out there.
Sounds great.
Folks, we thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. So if you like this show, please click on the Patreon link, and Land Monkey will read your name all in one breath. You can do that from the cachingnw.com website. Better yet, share your ideas for things that we can talk about. Like Marty. He's fabulous. Let's have him on again. If you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. If you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can also call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or take a midnight train going anywhere, any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific. It may change eventually in Canada for a live show and chat. And don't forget that this show is produced by Chris Humphenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2026 by Chris Humphenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The after show.
Yeah, I can't do that in one.
I just figured, hey, I set the bar. It's your turn.
That's right.
I did the last 2 sentences in one breath.
You did a good job. And honestly, doing the free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review, the fact that you can continue to do that week after week, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
All
you know what? It's funny because it changes from what I originally wrote. I I have free fabulous fast fantastic.
Ah, interesting. I wonder
Yeah,
what
but you wouldn't know. You're not looking at the show notes. Okay.
I mean, I
we
sort
do-
of look at the show notes.
well, yeah.
Sort of. A glance. here
Let's
and there.
start with the FATAS. Everyone voted for their WSGA board and reps.
Oh, is it that time
right?
of year?
It's that time of year.
Apparently is.
Go to if you're a WSGA member, go vote. It's important.
Vote often, vote early.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Put in 8, 10, 12 votes and see if anybody catches you.
for your favorite rep. There you go. Oh, yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
Who would have guessed we'd hear some exclusive shop geocaching information and almost see Land Monkey pass out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, funny but seriously, Marty, just thank you so much for sharing that insider information with us
That's
tonight.
really
Like
cool.
that's a huge scoop. That's some cool stuff to look forward to.
I think it's good. I really do think it's gonna be fun stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
very cool.
um,
Very cool.
it should be. I think it'll get a good response, and it just depends on if the word gets out there. But if the word spreads,
Now, a question for
yourself.
you: that when that kind of stuff comes in, and I guess because it's going to be limited edition, right? Like when the vinyl's gone, the vinyl's gone.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of stuff that folks can only buy through Shop Geocaching, or would they be able to order it through folks like Land Sharks or others?
that's a really good question. This is something that on some of the items they probably will be available for our wholesale customers on like the ones that are loaded with the possibility of 2007. We just don't have enough to give them out to everyone, so it'll be a hard limit, probably 2 per customer, and that'll hit the wholesale customers as well as the lackeys and the retail customers, and everyone's going to have that hard limit. We definitely try when we can to make those available, but there's certain things where there's just not enough to make it have any meaning to go that far. So yeah, those ones it'll basically just be it'll for the most part be the Shop Geocaching customers who will
Okay.
be able to buy those.
Good to know.
We try not to have that with a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff, that's the only way it's going to work.
I mean, yeah, it's disappointing for folks where, for myself, right, up in Canada, it's disappointing. Like, oh shoot, it's going to be a little trickier if I want to try and get in on that. But at the same time, it's a reality, right? I get it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we have like the lackey coins, that's an example of something that we bring in those and we sell them to the distributors, the distribution partners first. So when those go live on our site, throughout the world, you can buy them at the same time. So that's something where we have the quantity to do that, and we definitely try to make that available for people when we can. So that's one. The lackey coin, we'll get those in, and then we'll create a launch date, and then we'll get those out to the whole world before they launch. And if we have something with Lodestone products, I think we'd be able to do something similar with that too. We'd definitely be able to get those out. We don't, like I say, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but if there is a physical product, we would be able to get those out. Like that one where we sold them out very quickly, that was a very, very limited supply. But if they do go into a normal production run, we would get those out to everybody to be able to buy them throughout the world.
Wow.
Very cool. Super useful information.
Hawaiian Miley wants to order. I hate there's always too much stuff to choose from.
Yeah.
Marty, you're too good at your job.
There you go.
We try to have a good selection, so that's good to hear. I like it when people think there's too much that's to choose from. So
Is there
Well,
an
it's
add all
good
to cart
feedback.
button?
Isn't that all?
yeah.
One of each, please.
Yeah, well, it's like Cashing Can said earlier, right? Like, I guess I got to save more money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Land
yeah, go ahead.
Monkey.
Yes.
Just Carlos says the Cash Bash 9 launch event is this Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yes, I said we would talk about Cash Bash in the after show, and it's the after show, so I will talk about Cash Bash. So yes, thank you, Carlo. And I want to add that Carlo is the this year's addition to the board of directors for the Cash Bash.
The Canadian, just Carlo?
Yes, the Canadian just Carlo, as opposed to the American just Carlo.
The American filmmaker. living in Canada. No.
Anyways, yes. So we're delighted to have Carlo join us on our planning team. As everybody knows, he's super creative and just a fantastic guy. So he's a very valuable addition to the team. And yes, this Saturday in New Westminster at Queen's Park, we're going to have our launch event. So for those who are interested in knowing more, the other thing is Cache Bash is, as Keith says, it is the Lower Mainland Cache Bash. In previous years, it has been the Fraser Valley Cache Bash. And this year, we're expanding the territory from Horseshoe Bay to Hope. So the entire Lower Mainland will be the hiding and finding area this time, not just the Fraser Valley, but all of the Lower Mainland. So we really want to see folks come out and participate. And as Brian confirmed for us earlier, because the Lower Mainland Cache Bash will go live, those caches will get published on May 2nd. All those cache hiders will qualify for the hide souvenir. So if you want to get that hide souvenir and you live up here in the Metro Vancouver Lower Mainland area, participate in the Fraser Valley, see, old habits die hard. After 8 years, it's ingrained in my head. Participate in the Lower Mainland Cache Bash, and we're really looking forward to that. So come out, join us on Saturday, learn all about it, watch our social medias, and we are very excited to kick that off.
Keats is going to be there. He posted his will attend for the Lower Mainland Cache Bash.
There you go.
Looking forward to this year's Cache Bash and the newly expanded territory.
Indeed.
Fantastic. I think that covers the FATAS.
I think so.
We're a board of directors?
Apparently.
It's just Carlo?
As Brian says, board of dictators.
And you made a reference to time change. Is BC not jumping to daylight next week?
So yes, we are.
Okay.
So we are jumping.
Yeah.
We are changing the clocks. We are springing forward.
Right.
Next
Sorry.
week. But then that's it. We're not touching the clocks again after that.
Oh,
If you reach out in October to touch your clock in October, David Eby, our our premier, David Eby, is going to come into your house and slap your hand.
So you're staying with the clocks in the stupid direction?
There's a little controversy about that particular decision.
Well, only for intelligent people.
But that is what we're currently being held. So bottom line, I am a very big supporter of stopping changing the clocks.
I agree.
But
this is the time it's supposed to be now.
Yeah.
That's why they call it standard.
Yeah. Maybe that'll modify. There's a few months to put a little pressure on the provincial government. But bottom line, at least somebody in the Western Hemisphere is fricking doing something about this.
Yeah, Arizona.
Well, long time ago, Arizona.
Hawaii.
Yeah. I mean, like now.
You know, it's like
This is one of the best conversations I've heard in a long time.
there's a whole lot of nations that are stupid enough to change their clock, but at least they get smart enough to put them back where God intended it the other side of the year.
Now, wit's end?
I really don't have a strong opinion one way
I
or
was
the
gonna
other.
say, without getting into too much detail, what do you really think?
But, you know,
There's a lot of folks who share your opinion. And, I'm just thankful that we're not going to be changing them anymore. But it would be ideal if it was just on standard time and not. But what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
complain.
Highline says, I think it'll take a year of being in the wrong direction, is what Zen says, before anybody will change.
And that's the thing. I can't honestly speak for Canada, but in the US they tried it and then went back.
There you go.
Now, I know we can stay, as Washington State, we can stay in daylight saving time with a vote of our Senate, but it takes a congressional act to keep us in standard time.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Isn't it?
I thought, isn't it the
Or
other
is
way?
it the other way around?
I think it's the other way because Arizona already opts not to adopt daylight saving time, I think.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I may get it confused, but there's one way we can vote on it as Washingtonians, and the other one
We can choose not to change in the spring,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. Maybe it's the same in Canada, and that's why we're doing this.
I don't trust Washington State government to make any wise decisions. So
I did have it backwards. Okay.
there you go.
There you go.
So we can stay at standard time if we want to and not go to daylight saving.
There you go.
The time is now.
And everyone hates Arizona.
Oh, except for just finding our way.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
We like Arizonians. Is that what they're called? If you're from Arizona, what do they call
Sure.
you?
They are now.
And
Arizonites?
Arizonites wouldn't work. Arizonians? I don't know.
Aries?
Zoners.
Zoners. I like it.
Yeah, that's going to go over well. They're going to adopt that right away.
We're totally zoners. Daylight saving is more is active more months than standard. So it is the standard.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yes, and as Keith says this is the most political we've heard the podcast get. And Keith, this is about as political as we will get.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's about time, right?
When the sun is directly overhead, it's called noon.
Arizoners. Oh, too fun.
Oh,
We just call them seniors.
Oh, ouch.
Snowbirds.
I do prefer standard time, but y'all are my friends no matter what time your clocks are set to. So thanks for tuning in.
I just really hope that Washington and Oregon and California and BC will just all do the same thing, because then it'll make it so much easier. I really don't want to head south and go, actually, no, now I have to turn my...
That's one of the biggest, one of the biggest complaints. It's like, okay, come on. UTC for the win.
Yeah.
Indeed. Or as us old folks call it, Greenwich Mean Time.
Ooh. It's so aggressive. They're mean. I don't know why. Hey,
What do you
folks, until next week, and we can figure out what time it is, get out and get caching in the Northwest.